What the heck? Look at this. I have like something sticking out over here and my yarn is over here. Is that right? Oh, that's right. I'm going in there. This is my pattern. I have made a bajillion of these and I forgot what I'm doing. Hey everyone, my name is Natalie, also known as Knitty Natty. Welcome to episode 44 of the Love and Stitches podcast. Today is Tuesday, December 10th, 2019, and it is actually cold here in North Texas. We had a cold front come in and the high today was maybe 47. It was pretty cold for us. I had to get out like a bigger jacket to wear over my cardigans to go to school. It was also kind of rainy. So yeah, just some winter weather actually coming in here. So I am actually drinking some tea today and I am drinking my Plum Deluxe subscription. No idea when this one came in, but this is called Deluxe Autumn Chai. So it might be a good guess to say it came in the fall of this year, but I still have tea from like last year or so. The great thing about Plum Deluxe is that you can pause your subscription for a little while if you need to like drink some tea and catch up. But I kind of have FOMO when I do that because I don't want to miss out on any of the awesome flavors. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about what I'm wearing because it's also a finished object. Oh my gosh, I finally finished my Like a Cloud cardigan. So let me stand up and show you as much as I can. I haven't blocked it yet, which you can kind of tell because it's like cinched in. When I do block it, it will like let go and it will grow and it will just stretch out so beautifully. You can see the sleeves almost look a little short. They will grow and be just fine. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. I love how it turned out. It doesn't really close much in the front. Mine is definitely not as oversized as some are or as it's intended to be because I picked a size smaller than my bust measured for, but it still turned out fitting fine. Even that goof that I did in the sleeves look all right. Yeah, maybe they're going to be a little baggy at the armhole, but I think they actually turned out quite good. So I'm really happy with it overall. I used Shibui yarns in the lace, the Seema, I think, and then the silk mohair, which is called something else. It might be called silk mohair, but I didn't bring my tags over today. But yeah, so I actually wore this to school unblocked because I don't care. I'll probably wear it unblocked for a while and then eventually I will wash it. It is very unlike me to not block something because blocking, especially wet blocking it in water, just completely changes it. So yeah, I'm just breaking all the rules today. I really wanted to wear it because it was a cold day and I think it looks really nice. So eventually I'll block it and I'll have to take some FO pictures. Hopefully it'll be a tad longer too when I block it. I think it definitely will. So yeah, I'm so happy with it and it's finally done. Whoops, hold on, let me readjust you here. Good. We were kind of crooked before, but now we're like more crooked in a different way. We're just gonna keep going with it. I have not finished a sweater in what feels like a very long time. I am not a sweater knitter, even though I would like to be. I would love to have so many sweaters. I'm just not. I'm like a shawl knitter and a sock knitter, and I guess that's it for right now. Really, that's what I like to knit and crochet. But I'm so happy to have this sweater done. Woohoo! I think that I am gonna wear this all the time and it definitely makes me want to make more sweaters that are like kind of classic. I want to make the fun trendy sweaters too, but having a gray cardigan like this, I know it's something that I'm going to use like every single day. So Like a Cloud Joji Locatelli is my finished object for this week. I did a lot of knitting out of the house on the sleeves because these took me forever to finish, and I was doing cuff knitting in the car even last night, and I tried to bind off in the car in the dark. Don't do that. It did not go well. I ended up just doing it at home. Okay, other knitting things. I have my sock whip going, so I will show that. I also have another whip that I haven't touched, but I'm going to show anyway because I don't have a ton of different projects going on. I really needed to finish this. I did most of a sleeve. Actually, I don't know where I was. It felt like I did most of a sleeve since last week. So I got to show you as many things as I can so I have some content. Okay, I did knit quite a bit on my socks. I was right here last week. There's my cute little peppermint toad from Simply Serving. And this is from a sock blank. As you can see, I'm like mid-heel. I'm doing the Fish Lips Kiss heel, and I've just started the second half, so it's starting to like poke out right there, which is awesome. So I'm close to where I need to be. In week 2 of the month, I like to get the heel and the leg and the first sock complete. So yeah, I'm about there. It's still very wrinkly, obviously, nothing has changed. I'm knitting this from a sock blank that I dyed with Kool-Aid and sprinkles. My friend Rebecca had a little dye day with some other friends, and we dyed these a couple years ago on the sock blank. So yeah, it's mostly green on this side, mostly white on this side, and it makes a nice light green, peppermint speckled sock. So these are perfect for Christmas. I'm having fun with these. But yeah, I need to get that heel finished. We start testing officially tomorrow. So I imagine I will have quite a bit of knitting time while I'm proctoring test groups. And so if I can get this heel done in the morning, then I'll have just straight knitting to do while I'm proctoring those tests. So I will definitely be doing that. I also started, well here, let me show you my whip I haven't done anything on. Like literally I haven't even taken out the mistake that I know I have made somewhere. So this is, whoops, here we go. So this is my two-tone playtime shawl. This is a crocheted shawl. It's one of my patterns that came out in July. This is exactly where I was last week. Like exactly. I have not touched it. Whoa. Okay, anyway, so the reason I haven't touched this is that my sweater was really my like big push to finish this week. And then other than that, I've been focusing on Advent crochet, and I'll share that in a second too. So now that my sweater is finally done, I just cast off my sweater last night, I can get back to this. Hooray! So this is going to be a two-tone playtime shawl. All the crisscrosses will be in the green, and each of the texture sections will have a green stripe in it. I totally forgot to show the yarn last time, so I will do that now. So this is Chasing Rabbits, and the color is olivine. And these are single ply yarns. This is my first time, I think, crocheting with single ply. Sorry that Toaster's being such a brat right now. Toaster, come here, bud. Toaster. And I don't, where did my label go for the other one? So the blue is from Ching Fiber. It's also a single ply, and it has just the faintest hints of that yellowy green in it. And it is, sorry, this tag is funny. There we go. Ching Fiber and Merino Single in denim. So those are the two that I'm using together, and I can't wait to see how they look when I actually get more of it going. Now, I have a mistake. I'm off by 1 stitch on either side of the shawl, so I know I've missed an increase or done something wrong somewhere, so I need to go back and figure that out before I can keep going. I actually brought this with me to school today in my float tote mini, and I didn't have time to work on it, but I did look, and I didn't even bring the crochet hook, so it's fallen out somewhere else, and so I couldn't have worked on it anyway, but just thought I would show that to remind you I do have another project, just haven't worked on it yet, but I will get to it soon. Okay, I did cast on a new project. Haven't done much on it. This is also crochet with crochet thread. I think it's called the Noni bag, and it's by Amber Bliss something, Calderon maybe. She's Amber Bliss this on Instagram. But this is the bottom of a bag. So this bag is going to be for produce. It will stretch out like you'll see like a netting like that. So it's crochet thread on a pretty big hook. And this is just going to be a great little bag. It's it's made with small thread on a big hook like this so that it can be almost weightless, because it's going to be for like onions and apples and things like that. And when you weigh it, you don't want the bag to weigh too much. So what I did is I actually brought home, you know, those plastic bags that you get at the grocery store for your produce to go in. And I guess I brought apples home in it or something that wasn't dirty. And I kept the bag so I could weigh the bag and see how much it weighs versus the bag that I'm going to make to reuse. The bag that at the store was only 3 grams, so we'll have to see when I finish this bag how much more it weighs than that. I know it's going to weigh more than that, but hopefully not like more than double. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I think it'll be really nice to have something reusable so we don't have to keep adding more plastic trash to the environment. But I think I never have thought of this before, but actually we could be using those grocery plastic bags to like pick up outside, if you know what I mean. I don't know if they're thick enough though. That would be kind of concerning. I don't want them to be too thin. But anyway, I'm going to make those. Hopefully they will be successful and great for produce. Now the last thing that I am working on is my Advent project, which are my scrappy grannies, my crocheted granny squares. So I'm going to pull out all of the last 7 days to show you. I've been keeping them in this basket here. The bottom is what's left over after I've created a square, and the top are the squares that I have made. This is yesterday's square, so I'm going to plop that in there. I'm holding my project in this cute little bag with holiday llamas or alpacas or whatever they are in there. And there's the ball of yarn. I still haven't finished today's yet, but at least I'm caught up because I've been a day behind for a couple of days now. What was I gonna say? I don't remember. But anyway, let me show you the last 7 days. So let's see. I think you saw the first 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. Huh? How many have you guys seen? 1. You saw December 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. When's the last time I recorded? Did you see those? Okay, maybe we'll start here. So this is the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and the 10th is in my bag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, you know why? Because I recorded on Wednesday last week. I think that makes sense. All right, so now is a test of my memory to see if I can remember what these colors are called. And I'll just show them to you real quick. If I can't remember, I'll just put it at the bottom of the screen because I will have to look at my my little list. I've been doing a really good job not looking at the list of names, and my husband, I'll call him every day at lunch if I'm at work or if we're together on the weekends, and he will have the name of the colors. I will have the yarn, and then we'll take turns trying to guess. So this whole Advent is from Yarn Cafe Creations and Dragon Horde Yarn, and they have a theme. It's Harry Potter, Prisoner of Azkaban. So there's a theme behind it. It's not like wild guessing, but it still has been super, super challenging. So let's see if I can remember. I might have to cut out a little bit of me thinking here to try to go back. So this looks like it was one of the days, maybe day 5. And I don't remember what it's called, but it's really pretty, isn't it? Love that purple. And then I think this was day 6. I want to say this one might have been boggart. And a boggart is the shapeshifter that like turns into your worst nightmare. I think that was boggart. This one was time turner, which it doesn't look like the time turner itself because a time turner kind of looks like a sand timer, but I'm wondering if this is like the pumpkin patch that in the movie Harry and Hermione are waiting at. I don't know. I wish there was I know this is way too much to ask, but sometimes I wish there was a story in there of how the designer picked these colors for those items. This one was, I think, buckbeak. And again, it's like, how did you get this pinky color from an animal that is gray and white? I don't know, but I love this color. I thought it was so pretty. This one is really cool. This is divination. and divination is the subject that Professor Trelawney teaches. Divination is not just in Harry Potter. Divination would be like you can predict, you hear things, you predict the future, you know about things that are happening in the world. So I thought that was a great color for divination. And then today's is my favorite so far. This color is absolutely stunning. Like I said, I'm not quite done. I think I have 2 more rounds-ish to go. That's the back. Is that the back? Yeah. Here we go. So this color, and it shows differently when I'm recording than it does when it plays back. So I hope it's really you're getting to see it. But it's this like gray beige, like super soft base, and then it's got all these different colors. I mostly am seeing yellow, pink, and a teensy bit of blue. But this color is called, I think it's the Fidelius charm or Fidelius charm, but that is the charm that protects Harry's parents in the house that they stay in so that nobody, what the heck? Look at this. I have like something sticking out over here and my yarn is over here. Is that right? Oh, that's right. I'm going in there. This is my pattern. I have made a bajillion of these and I forgot what I'm doing. I think it's because I'm looking in the camera and it looks so funny. I'm right here. I need to go back around to complete the round. Oh my gosh. Anyway, Fidelius charm. I love this. It's the charm that protects Harry's parents when they're living in their house. It protects them in other places. Not Harry's parents, but Harry and, oh gosh, when they're in Grimwald Place, I think. But basically it makes this, wherever you are, invisible. It's a safe house. And so I think that's why it's like the gray, the beige, and all the different colors, almost like invisibility. That is my favorite color so far. So pretty. I would love to wear a sweater in that. Notice how I say wear and not make, because I can't make promises like that about sweaters. Okay, oh yes, that's on my whips. So I'll be right back and we can talk about some other stuff. All right, so I have a couple questions, or a few questions. I've got 3 in the Ask Me thread today. So if you have any questions for me, feel free to go to Ravelry to the Ask Me, or to the Love and Stitches group, and then go to the Ask Me thread, and you can throw anything you want into there. Okay, so the first one today comes from Chateau Willow, which is my friend Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca. She asks, how do you incorporate Excel into your design process? So you probably are familiar with Excel. It's the Microsoft software that is like a spreadsheet. And I do actually use Excel sometimes in my designs. I'm not a sweater designer, so I'm not grading patterns where I like change sizes, but it's still really useful for me. For example, in one of my latest designs that hasn't come out yet, it's a shawl and it has some mosaic knitting, it has brioche knitting, it has increases and lots of different stitch counts. And so I used Excel a lot in designing that pattern. It'd be helpful if I got it. Should I go get it? 1 second. Okay, so for this shawl, which is named, but I haven't released the name yet and the pattern has not released yet, you can see there's mosaic knitting, brioche knitting, more mosaic and more brioche. So I used Excel a lot in this particular design. First I used it, I changed the cell size so they're like little squares, so they're more like knitting, and I used color to like basically make a chart. So like when I wanted to figure out how to make these squares, I charted it, and then I figured out how many rows there were, I kind of expanded it, and so on like that. Basically like making a picture. But I also really used it in the brioche sections because this is my first design with brioche in it. And I needed to understand how my stitch count, how many stitches I need to increase in order to like incorporate another set of those brioche stitches. And so instead of like testing and ripping and testing and ripping with actual knitting a million times, I started to what I like to call virtually knit. And I used Excel to like start with a base number of stitches, and then I would, go another column over as an increase, another column over here as an increase, some increases in the center and see how that affected the design and my stitch count. So that's the third way that I don't know what number I'm on, but that's the third way that I use Excel, is for stitch counts. So especially again on this pattern actually has a whole separate PDF that is just stitch counts, like row or section by section, basically repeat by repeat. And I use that for myself at first because knitting is a pattern. I mean, most everything is going to be like in a pattern. So you're not just going to like increase 9 stitches and then 11 stitches and then 4 and then 14. Like it's like, you know, it might be 4, 4, 4, 4. And so I used Excel to just map that all out so I could check myself at every point how many stitches I was supposed to have. Especially on a shawl, I think that counting all of your stitches is way too much. So I like to have a stitch count for each half of the shawl as well as a total stitch count. And that's what I used Excel for. So I hope that is helpful and that answered your question, Rebecca. Okay, the next question is from Knit and Crochet Dreamin'. She says, I hesitate to ask because, okay, I said she, but I don't know if it's a she. I think it's a she. I hesitate to ask because I may be the only one to experience such. Have you ever, once completed a big project, say a long scarf, that the beginning of the scarf looks a little used from all the flipping around in your lap when turning the project? It can be a little disheartening. I hope this makes sense. And actually somebody has already replied and answered this. If you ever want to answer stuff in the Ask Me thread and share your experience, please do that. You are super welcome to, because sometimes, like for this question, I actually don't have a straight answer for you. So somebody did reply. Knit Notes said, you bet. Sometimes I put the beginning end of a scarf or long shawl in a bag to protect it from all the abuse. Okay, so I'm curious, you're gonna have to answer this one either on the thread or in the comments here. Have you ever worked on a project where one end of the shawl or scarf, the part you started with, starts to look kind of ragged? That really has not happened to me unless I have ripped and reused the yarn a lot. So just kind of like with a knowledge of yarn, there are several things that can affect the wear and tear of your project. One would be the fiber content. So that's something to look at as far as which projects seem to look more worn and which seem to hold up better. Also, friction is going to make your project look more worn. So like over time, you're right, sitting in your lap, moving around, or even sitting in a bag moving around is going to create friction and is going to look more worn. Sometimes the friction of your hands, especially if your hands get very hot or even sweaty while you're knitting, combined with the fiber type, it can kind of wear and tear on your yarn over time. And then if you're working on a project for many, many years and it's getting stored and used and then stored, yes, the project itself is not going to look as nice as the new yarn you're putting into it. So those are just some things to think about. But it doesn't sound like this is like a super long-term project. So maybe it's the fiber that you're using, but also you should definitely try that tip from Knit Notes, was it? And put it in a bag to see if that helps. Okay, one more question. This one is from Wood Regina 18. She says, hi there, I've been enjoying your Vlogmas videos. Thank you. It's always fun this time of year to see daily routines of the bloggers I keep up with. I have a YouTube related question. I want to make sure to support you and the others I watch. So my question is, if I skip the ads on your YouTube video, does it impact you in any way? Thanks. Okay, that was a really, really good question. I'm gonna take a sip of tea before I answer that. So I'm going to go back further than, I'm going to not answer the question right away and talk a little bit about YouTube ads. So I recently put ads on my channel. The reason being is that you have to hit a certain threshold to even monetize your channel with ads. So for YouTube, that's 1,000 subscribers and also a certain number of watch minutes. I think it's 40,000 watch minutes. So that takes some time to build up. I was really, really lucky, and when I started last year, I had another podcaster, thank you Diane, Suburban Stitcher, she talked about me on her channel because she had watched one of my videos. And from her alone, that boosted my channel like crazy. And that helped me get out there into the world. You know, people saw my content. I was just getting started. Like, I didn't even have a podcast episode out yet. I had Vlogmas and like a one-off video. But that really helped me like feel like, oh, this is something that people like, I'm gonna keep going. And so I was really fortunate to I feel, grow rather quickly in the year that I've been on YouTube. So I was able to start monetizing my channel with ads in August or September, a few months ago. And that's definitely something that I wanted to do because it helps to have a little bit of money coming in for the time that it takes to do this. I totally love doing it so much. I would not stop doing it, but it also is really nice to know that there's a value in it that's solid. You know what I mean? So anyway, it's a pretty small amount, but something that people think, and especially my kids at school, they think that a view equals $1 or a dollar amount, and that is absolutely not true at all. It's ads, views on ads that gives YouTubers money. As a YouTuber, I guess, that's weird, I've never said that about myself. As a YouTuber, I can actually choose which kinds of ads go on my videos. Now, not the content of the ads, actually you're choosing that with things that you're doing in your search engines and other things that you click on. So if an ad comes up that's like not super appropriate, not me, that's what you're clicking on. Not that they wouldn't be appropriate, but you know what I mean. So I actually choose the type of ad. So whether it's skippable, non-skippable, whether it's at the beginning, the end, or the middle of my video. I could also choose to put little overlays if you're watching on a computer. So those are the types of choices that YouTubers have. Now, ads can be kind of annoying. Like I definitely click that skip button as soon as I can. I've been watching some YouTubers lately that have put ads throughout their video, especially if it's like 20 minutes, they'll have one in the beginning and two in the middle. Like not right next to each other, but spread out. And at first I was irritated by that, but you have to think about people who are doing this as a living and people who are doing it for fun. And right now, this is for fun for me. I'm gearing towards wanting this to be more than just a hobby, but for me, it is not my living. I have another job that I go to every day to make money, to live in my house and to feed my dog. But for some people, that is their livelihood. So they need to put ads in everywhere they can, and they should, because they're making quality content. So ads are what give YouTubers money. So let's go back to the skippable ads thing. I really should know the answer to this off the top of my head because that's an important thing to know, but I didn't. And I had to do some research, and here's the thing. I could not find a super clear answer on this. It does seem that somewhere in 2018, YouTube changed their terms on skippable ads. So basically, people who want an advertisement pay YouTube, YouTube pays the person making the video. And used to, if somebody skipped your ad, I don't think you got anything for it. There's a certain amount of like seconds that have to be watched for that ad to count per se and to pay the YouTuber. In 2018, it seems that things did change where research showed that even watching just a couple seconds of an ad does something for the consumer. They didn't have to just watch all of it. So I do believe that myself and other YouTubers that you watch will still get something if you skip the ad. What I'm not sure is if it's the same amount as if you watch, I think the threshold is 30 seconds or more. Some of those ads are like a movie. They're like 3.5 minutes long. So I think that threshold is 30 seconds. So if you watch up to 30 seconds, I think that would be like getting everything that, like I personally would get everything that you can give me from that ad, I think. But I don't know the direct answer on this. So I do need to do some more research and see if I can find something clear. To me, it's not a true statement until I see it from the website itself. So that would be from Google AdSense or from YouTube itself. Until I see it on their site, I'm not gonna like just trust the different resources that I've looked at, even though they seem very legit and well researched. But yeah, so somewhere around 2018, things changed. I believe if you skip ads on my videos, you're still giving me a little bit. I am only putting skippable ads up right now because my situation is not that I'm making a living off of doing this. But that doesn't mean that in the future I wouldn't put a non-skippable ad or an ad somewhere else in a video, especially if the video is very popular. Like people who make up their living by having people watch their videos, they're being business smart to put that in there. So I really appreciate that question because it's making me think about how I can support the people that I'm watching. And so if watching an ad for 30 seconds, like I'm not even gonna probably watch it, but just play it while I'm doing something else for a minute and then skip it and, after 30 seconds and go on about to the things that I want to watch. Like that doesn't really take that much from me. So I'm really glad that you asked that because that's changed my thinking on who I watch and how I can help support them. While we're on that vein of things, people always say like and subscribe. And that's because the more, it's kind of like Instagram, I guess, or Facebook in a way, like when things get likes and clicks, it gets boosted in their metrics. So there's a lot of people that watch, like my videos every single week. Actually, I don't think I can see who you are, but I can see that there's like a consistent amount of likes every week or comments. And that really does help YouTubers as well. So if you're looking to support your like favorite podcaster, after you watch their video every week or 2 weeks, just give it a like. That really does help. And you probably are subscribed. I like to subscribe to people from like both my personal and my Knitty Natty channel, so they have like 2 subscribers. I'm not like making extra accounts to do that, but before I started posting videos, I had a personal account and one of my devices is still logged into that. So I'll just subscribe there and on my other account because convenience, but it also helps them. So good, really good question. I need to do more research into that so I can find a better answer or a more clear answer. Okay, moving on, let's go to some news. Okay, I have a pattern coming out on Friday. Woohoo, finally. I feel like it's been so long. And it's because I worked on that shawl for most of the fall and then we moved the release date to January, which I'm really glad we did. But I feel like I haven't put out a pattern in forever because it's been since September when Louisiana Street came out. So new pattern coming out on Friday is the Classic Can Cozy. So here's the Classic Can Cozy. It is super simple. You start at the bottom, you increase, you rib and stripe, you bind off with an I-cord, and you are done. Voila. I have, when I first designed the Classic Bottle Cozy, which is getting a refresh, so if you already have the Classic Bottle Cozy pattern, and you bought it on Ravelry, because Ravelry is the only platform that does this, I will be sending out on Friday sometime, it might be later in the day, an update for the Classic Bottle Cozy. So you will get, the pattern has not changed, the stitches have not changed, but the format has, it's a lot more clean, modern, more like my patterns now. And then you will also get a little discount for the Classic Can Cozy. So if you are a Classic Bottle Cozy pattern owner, hang tight because I am going to send you a little discount to get the Can Cozy. The Can Cozy and the Bottle Cozy will also have a bundle where you can buy the 2 of them together. I think I know how I'm going to price that yet, but because I haven't thought it all the way through yet, I'm not going to say, but it will of course be less than buying the two patterns separately. And then the Can Cozy will also go into the Fall Means Football collection. So right now there is a hat, the No Huddle hat, there's a pair of socks, 40-yard dash socks, and then there's the classic bottle cozy. So the Can Cozy will go into that. So yeah, I haven't quite thought through how I'm going to, if I'll change the price on that or not, and how I will incorporate it. I know I have a few people who have bought that bundle, so I really need to think through what's going to be good for them with a new pattern getting added, what's going to be good if I add more patterns over time, how that's going to work. I don't know. So I need to think through all of that. But the Can Cozy, if you just want the Can Cozy, will definitely be out on Friday. Right now, the Bottle Cozy is $5, but my new patterns have all released at $6. And that's because I've started including video tutorials. Now the video tutorials are public, they're on YouTube. They're not just exclusive to the pattern, but because I'm adding pattern support into my designs, I have changed from $5 to $6. So the Bottle Cozy is still $5 right now if you wanna go grab it. But Toaster. Okay, let's try this again. The Bottle Cozy is still $5 right now if you want to go grab it, but it will change to $6 when the Can Cozy comes out. But again, the bundle of them together will be a better price. So maybe hang tight on that. But yeah, so there will also be, I keep picking up the same one. Let's show you a different one. This one's a little taller because this is my first prototype. So I've got Toaster right here now. I'm petting him so he will not bark at the door. But this one is a little taller because it was my original. So they're not quite this tall anymore, just because I found when you have it right up to where it starts to change, then it might get in your mouth, which is not what you want. So they are about this height where they come just below where it turns around. So super great for gifts. You can definitely get one done in time for Christmas because they don't take very long, but they're great to make in team colors. I don't know, they're just fun. They're great for scraps. That's how I made this one, out of just some funky scraps that I had. So that one's definitely mine. These two are gonna be a Christmas gift, so they will go off to a Dallas Cowboys lover. But I will also have a love letter video coming out for that on Friday, I think. I need to record it still, so no promises on Friday, but hopefully Friday. But I will talk like all about how I designed that, my thought process, things that I love about it in that video if you want to go watch it there. And I have a new tutorial this week as well. So the new tutorial is for brioche. So if you have never tried brioche, you've got to go check this out. This is the basic brioche stitches. So brioche is one of those, like, what's the word for it? Like, it's just so intimidating because it has a reputation, not because it's actually hard. Brioche is, well, here, let me reach and get this. My shawl again. So this is brioche right here. So brioche is a fabric that it looks like a ribbing, but on one side, like this multicolor is dominating, whereas on the other side, the gold color is dominating. It's a really, really cool effect, and it's a lot of fun to do. It's a different rhythm. If you're used to like a knit, purl, it's a different rhythm because you've got yarn overs, knitting together, purling together. But of course, because it's brioche, it has to be named something different. So it looks like a lot of new terminology, but really it's just yarn over, purl two together, and knit two together. So go check out that video. I will link it so that you can, if you haven't learned about brioche, you can go learn about it. Or if you've attempted it before and want to try again, you can give it a look. It does not tell you like cast on this many and start this way. It just goes over the stitches. So you might want to have a basic pattern ready to go. My favorite basic pattern for brioche is, I think it's called Gina's Hat and Cowl. It's a free pattern from Purl Soho. It's the very first 2-color brioche pattern I did. And the reason I like it is because 1, it's free, and 2, it only has 2 rows. It's really, really simple because it's in the round. So one color is always purl and one color is always knit, I think. Is that how it works? Maybe it has 4 rows. I should know this because recently I had a brioche lesson with somebody and it was really fun. We got to meet up at a coffee shop and talk about brioche knitting, and she did wonderful. But I think maybe it's 4 rows, not 2 rows. But it's really simple. It's really, really easy. It's a great pattern for beginning brioche. And then if you need a little more assistance, the basic brioche stitches video will help you out. Okay, I think that's all of the stuff. Let's talk about life a little bit. As for the past like 5 weeks, I have an eye update for you. If I've been looking silly or cross-eyed, it's because I'm not wearing contacts right now or glasses, and I can't really see you. So I decided to take my glasses off. They're right here. Because I don't like the way they reflect in the light, and I also don't like the way that I feel like a disconnect when I'm podcasting, because we're already like miles apart because it's like my phone and your computer or whatever, but I don't know, I just don't like having the glasses as a barrier. So the Never Ending Saga finally found some contacts that will work, so I've ordered those, but my eye doctor didn't have any more as a sample, so I'm having to wait. I was completely out, so I'm just having to wait to get them, but they're on their way hopefully very soon. But I also want to get some glasses so I can wear my glasses more often, because these are great. They work fine. Okay, sorry for all the interruptions, but these are great. They work fine, but they're not like super trendy, and I want to find some trendy, fun frames that I can wear. So through several people's advice, I have ordered the try-on pairs from Warby Parker. Before I didn't want to do that because they're pricier, but what I didn't know is they actually give a pair of glasses for every pair that you buy, kind of like Tom's, you know, when Tom's first started, that was their big thing. And I think they still do it, but that was like, everyone was super into Tom's. So I think this is the new Tom's, the Warby Parker glasses. They don't have a million styles. They have quite a few, and they're very trendy. So I've got those 5 coming. I especially am excited to try on the clear frames. I think those look really cool. And then I also got some that are like pink and clear, and I'm super excited for that. So my hope is to have a pair of glasses that are like neutral, probably browns, and then another pair that's kind of fun. Most of the time I dress pretty neutrally, so I can wear a fun pair of frames every once in a while. Okay, so hopefully can stop talking about that soon, but look out on Instagram, because I'll probably try on my glasses on Instagram and have you guys help me out and vote. I'll ask my husband too, but it will be nice to have a lot more people's opinion. And then also, we've been looking at so many Christmas lights. We went to do one of those like drive-through ones, which I've never done before. It was fun. You drive through all the Christmas lights. They're not just lights on trees. They're like they look like, you know, there's like an under the sea scene and like all this crazy stuff. It was super awesome. And then there was a spot where you could get out and walk through the lights and go into a little Christmas village and get some hot chocolate. And it was just really cute and fun. So yeah, we're also gonna go later this week to look in a very fancy neighborhood in Dallas. We go every year and look at the Christmas lights there. We're not the only ones who do it, because they actually have horse-drawn carriage rides through these neighborhoods if you want to look at the lights too, but we always just do it in a car and get some Starbucks hot chocolate, and so it's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. Bringing me joy this week is watching other people's Vlogmases. I love Vlogmas so much. I am recording videos myself, so every day on YouTube you probably have seen I have a new video coming out that kind of just talks about the previous day, take you along with what I'm doing, open my advent calendar, show a little bit of toaster, just regular life stuff. So it's really fun to get to know the podcasters that you've been watching and, you know, see more of their house and learn what they like to cook and kind of see their routines in a way. And that's almost sounding like stalker-ish, but it's really interesting, because in the like knitting and crochet world, we have these celebrities that we look up to, and it's just really cool and it's fun. I have super enjoyed watching them. So some of the ones, I think I talked about them last week, but I'll say them again real quick. I like to watch The Crazy Sock Lady, Suburban Stitcher, Amy Florence, and I feel like there's a couple other that I'm missing. I'm watching One of a Kate every day. And is there one more? I think those are the 4 that I'm like consistently watching every day at lunch while I wind up my Advent and get started on my granny square. So Vlogmas bringing me so much joy. It's been a lot of fun. All right, I think that is everything. Thank you guys so much for watching another week, and I will see you again next time. Bye.